the bloodthirsty cartel known as MS-13.
MS-13. MS-13.
Tonight I am calling on Congress to finally close the deadly loopholes that have allowed MS-13 and other criminal gangs to break into our country.
Good day, my name is Angelo and this is Channel Up, that channel that keeps you updated on true crime, mystery and lifestyle. Thanks for joining us. Well, security operatives in the US have recorded another milestone by a very enormous arrest. A high-ranking MS-13 leader accused of orchestrating 11 murders was taken off the streets of New York last night. One Joel Momaya Vargas Escobar was arrested in a real-life law enforcement operation by US operatives. Now, this isn't just about one man, all right? It is about the widespread, blood-stained empire of the Mara Salvatrucha. That's the MS-13, a gang that has drained the US and Central America. Now, the takedown of this man is being hailed as a major victory by federal authorities in the United States. But it is also an expose of the gang's terrifying reach. The MS-13 doesn't just operate in back alleys, okay? Sources revealed that it has embedded itself in different communities, running rackets from Nevada to New York. And while politicians debate on border security, this case forces a kind of harder question, which is how many more like Vargas Escobar are still out there in the open? How many more of his type are still constituting mayhem in communities? Now, court documents reveal a chilling pattern of taking lives, with victims lured into remote locations, tortured, then executed in almost similar manner, something like a serial killing. This isn't random violence. We see this as a systematic terror, all right? The indictment suggests Vargas Escobar wasn't just a foot soldier, but a key architect of this particular brutality. His capture, after nearly 4 years of being at large, is a rare win in a crime fight where authorities hardly get what they want in the United States. Now, the United States Attorney General Pamela Bondi's statement attributed the arrest victory to President Donald Trump's leadership. This isn't just a kind of bureaucratic politicking, okay? It is a calculated reminder that the MS-13 gang has become a political symbol, a shortcut for the intersection of immigration, crime, and national security. Whether that framing is justified or exploited depends on who you ask. But the bodies and the numbers don't lie. Trust me, the MS-13 have done enough. Behind the press releases, there is an unseen war being waged by the Joint Task Force Vulcan, a multi-agency strike force designed to dismantle the MS-13. But with thousands of members still active, this arrest is far from putting an abrupt end to their dealings and seems more likely to be a single battle in a kind of prolonged war with US security operatives. Now, according to the unsealed indictment from the Department of Justice, the DOJ, specifically the District of Nevada, Vargas Escobar wasn't just another gang member. He was what is known in the gang as a shot caller. If you don't know, a shot caller in the MS-13 gang or any other gang is a high-ranking leader who makes critical decisions, ordering different hits, approving new members' initiation and registration, settling disputes between members and maybe rival gangs, and directing criminal operations. That was who he was. He was not just a crime lord. He was the leader of the MS-13's Parkview clique with direct ties to 11 whooping murders across Nevada and California. Now, according to internal FBI briefings, after a months-long manhunt with agents tracking Vargas Escobar through financial records, encrypted communications, and tips from different informants and intels, his capture in New York was the result of a coordinated raid involving the FBI in Las Vegas, the FBI in Los Angeles, and the FBI in New York. All their field offices were involved in this capture, respectively. Now, according to court records, the indictment lays out a kind of, let's say, a very gruesome pattern of operation where victims, many of them rival gang members or suspected informants, were allegedly kidnapped, driven to deserts or mountain areas, and allegedly executed. Some were stabbed repeatedly in a ritualistic style known as the green lighting. If you are in South America or you are in the US and you're familiar with the MS-13 and other gangs, then you will be familiar with the word or the statement green lighting. It's a kind of execution that exists along these areas that is being perpetrated by members of such gangs. So reports from a senior DEA agent speaking on the background confirmed that Vargas Escobar had been deported to El Salvador in 2018, but he managed to slip back into the US undetected. According to him, these guys don't just disappear, the agent said. They regroup, they rebrand, and they come back much stronger. Now, to achieve operational success and to get this particular clampdown to be a success, a joint task force was set up. The Interagency Operational Squad, in collaboration with the Criminal Division's Violent Crime and Racketeering Section, VCRS, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Nevada, and the Joint Task Force Vulcan, JTFV. The JTFV, which is the DOJ's anti-MS-13 task force, has expanded its target to include the Tren de Aragua, a Venezuelan gang gaining footholds in U.S. cities gradually. A classified memo obtained by this report goes further to suggest that the task force is now prioritizing decapitation strikes against high-value targets like the likes of Vargas Escobar. Strong sources have gone further to reveal that the operational structure of the MS-13 seems this way. Intelligence reports indicate that the MS-13 operates through a decentralized network of cliques, each with its own leadership. The Parkview clique, allegedly led by Vargas Escobar, was one of the most violent, specializing in arms trafficking and contract killings over time. While most victims were gang affiliated, court filings reference at least 2 cases where bystanders were caught in the crossfire between rival gangs. A reminder that the MS-13's violence spills far beyond internal disputes. It touches even the population of the United States. This case is part of the Operation Take Back America and an Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force, OCDETF operation. Operation Take Back America is a nationwide initiative that marshals the full resources of the Department of Justice to repel the invasion of illegal immigration, achieve the total elimination of cartels, and finally, transnational criminal organizations, and also to protect communities from the perpetrators of violent crime in the US. Homeland Security records reveal that Vargas Escobar had been detained twice before his 2018 deportation, but was released pending hearings. Critics have gone further to argue that this catch and release cycle enables recidivism, which means the tendency of a person to relapse into a criminal behavior or unwanted habits by the law, especially after undergoing punishment, rehabilitation, or even corrective measures. A claim that was disputed by immigration advocates. The Bureau for Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives in the US, the ATF, traced reports linking firearms recovered from the MS-13 hideouts to straw purchases in Nevada, Texas, and California, respectively. One Glock pistol tied to a 2020 model was originally sold at a Phoenix gun show with no background check. So to say, the US operatives have really garnered a sort of courage from this second administration of Donald Trump. And they are counting this as a form of victory over not just the MS-13, but it's going to serve as a sort of deterrent to other members of other deadly and notorious gangs. Now, Internal Revenue Service, IRS, investigators found evidence of money laundering through small businesses, a car wash in Las Vegas, and a bodega in Long Island, which was allegedly used to transfer cash back to El Salvador. Now, according to the data from the Bureau of Prisons, it goes further to reveal that the MS-13 leaders often continue directing hits and operations from behind bars in prison. Vargas Escobar's transfer to Nevada would likely place him in a high-security penitentiary unit to prevent further coordination and such hits pulled from within the prison walls. So what are the legal proceedings over time? What has been said legally? What has the law said? Now, prosecutors, according to records, plan to use the RICO laws, which target criminal enterprises, to secure life sentences, but securing witness testimony is actually a big problem at this point. So, because lots of people fear retaliation and fear vengeance from these gangs. You give evidence against them, they look for you, they look for your family. All right. This case has got a very, very wide range of global reach and attention, and as a result, Interpol alerts indicate that the MS-13 has deepened ties with Mexican cartels, trading hitmen for drug routes. This isn't just a US problem. It is what I would likely call a kind of hemispheric catastrophe. So in conclusion, which outrightly is like my opinion, I see this as an unfinished fight. All right, Vargas Escobar's arrest is a kind of headline win, let me call it like that, but it won't cripple the MS-13. Trust me, the gang thrives on chaos, exploiting weak points in immigration and law enforcement systems. Until those gaps are closed, the circle will continue to expand. But beyond the legal battles, this case is about lives erased in deserts, in back roads, in community roads, and at crossroads. Okay, the real victory won't come from press conferences. Rather, it will come when communities no longer live in fear of the next mayhem that may erupt from such gangs operating in their localities. Trust me, after this clampdown, all members of the MS-13 and other notorious gangs will begin to trade with care. I would call this a very big win-win situation for the Trump administration, especially for the DOJ, Homeland Security, and the Federal Bureau for Investigation, FBI, because this combined efforts by these offices or these agencies has proven to be resilient, especially in their pursuit of notorious crime gangs that exist not just in the US but in other parts of South America and Central America. All right, so by so saying, we could say categorically that the FBI offices, the FBI field offices in Las Vegas, in Texas, in California have really done so well in clamping down this particular drug lord, Vargas Escobar. This should be a kudos to the security agencies in US. More will come, more apprehensions will come. So before I call it quits, if you enjoy our updates, please like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop comments for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, please tap the notification bell so that you will be able to get updates promptly when I drop a new one. Wouldn't you love that? See you next time. Bye.